All right.
Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to MMAHOLICS. Y'all already know who it is. It's Antoine and the boy Nikki. We appreciate y'all for
So,
joining. Hell yeah, most definitely. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Anyone who could for this late night live that we're doing. Tonight we're gonna do the Noche UFC 306 on paper. Um, they're going to be in the Sphere this Saturday. We're recording this Friday night at about 10:30 Eastern time. So, it's one more sleep until the fight happens. But how was your week, Nikki? How you feeling, bro? You good?
chilling, bro. Chilling. Got through a long work week. Had some Muay Thai tonight. Had some great sparring and
Mm-hmm.
had Jiu-Jitsu on yesterday, on Thursday. So, been training good. Finally got a pay-per-view again, so I'm happy about that. Big one, probably one of the biggest of the year. Right next to 300,
Mm-hmm.
308. We got a lot of good ones. So, super excited for this. 10 cards. It's gonna be It's gonna feel short, the fights, but it's gonna be a long night with the movie that it is. So yeah.
Right, that too. Like I agree. I think like we'll more so get like caught up in the spectacle, and that's one of the things I'm intrigued the most about is because it's only 10 fights on the card. So, they used to do that in old pay-per-views, like 8, 9 fights, stuff like that. But that's all because like the depth of the roster at the time. So the thing about the card was so expensive that they could only afford to have 10 fighters, like 10 fights on the card. And it was super selective. Like all the fights, like stylistically, are bangers. Like it's really good. They can really play out for the crowd like that. That's another factor too. I'm genuinely interested to see like if it's gonna be sold out from the jump.
Yeah. It should be. I mean, Dana's been like stressing. Like I think he opened the press conference last night by saying like, do not
Mm,
be here after 7 o'clock. Like if you're ever gonna show up to a UFC event on time, it's gonna be this Saturday. So I would
yeah.
assume it's gonna be a packed house, especially with the price most people paid at originally. Um,
Mhm.
I'd assume they want to be here, showing support, enjoying what they paid for.
Oh yeah, like I'm squeezing every juice out of that orange. There was rumors going around that like the tickets like at the drop they were like $3,000, something like that. And I was watching a podcast the other day. Shout out to the Coast to Coast Combat Hour. I really enjoy that show. And like they were talking about like I think the tickets are around like 600 now,
Yeah.
it's like 650, like it's like an average pay-per-view price. A little bit more than that, maybe you could say, but it looks like it. And I guess the day before, so like they like that extra loose change. And if y'all don't think some people wouldn't like hop on flights like last second on like some spontaneous stuff, they would do that 1000%.
Hmm.
And yeah, y'all again want to appreciate everyone for joining us. We can go ahead and pull it up on Topology if that's cool with you. Yeah, y'all. So we got UFC Noche UFC, however you want to call it. Again. So it's good, man. Like I'm really happy they're making this like a yearly thing. I really enjoyed it last year, just when it had one title fight on it. Of course, the rematch of Grasso versus Shevchenko. I really enjoyed that, man. Like just the fact that that really felt like a mini pay-per-view kinda. And the card really delivered. Like it was the same thing it is this year. This was but just with more fights. It was like actually like 14, 15 fights. And it really snuck up on us. Like it was on September 16th and it really felt like a pay-per-view, out of nowhere. Especially when it hit the main event and it was a title fight, because it's like it's only like the like I can't give an exact number, but it's extremely rare to see a title fight be on a fight night. It's happened before in the past. It's kind of funny because Valentina did that a few years ago when she fought Liz Carmouche. She actually fought on a fight night um, with a title fight and stuff. But even looking at the matchups on the card, like it does have some pretty crazy matchups. Like even looking at like Ignacio Bahamondes versus Manuel Torres, like that's marked on a lot of people's calendar. Like that's like that fight alone is a big reason why some people are watching the card. Of course, you got the main event with Hassan O'Malley versus Marab. Sean, like it's really crazy to think like they really chose him to headline this event, And like, imagine being in Sean's shoes. Like, really, you'll be the last person to make the walk that night. But how do you feel about the bout order and all the matchups and stuff?
I like the bout order. The Ronaldo and Odie fight, it makes a little more sense now. Now that there's like more of an initiative for the fight and more for the fans.
Hmm.
That being on the main event's cool. I like the Aldana Dumont fight and then the Torres Ignacio fight. Those are both main card worthy. And then I was talking with someone today. We're like Raul opening. He was like, "Why is Raul opening the card?" I'm like, "Oh, it seems like Dana's doing this more often, putting like a really good fight to start the night." But we were both
Hmm.
agreeing like Raul, his next fight can be like a co-main fight night. He's two
Hmm.
fights off of like at least a fight night main event. So seeing him at the bottom, people might be confused, but it seems like it's gonna be a recurring theme to have really good fights to start the night instead of like
Hmm.
working your way up. Like they want to start with bangers. It seems more often, and yeah, we could get into it if you want to start with that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like the last thing I want to say before we get into it again, I want to thank y'all so much for joining us. Anyone that can join, thank you for joining. I always love having y'all. And the last I did want to say like to give a theory on like why Raul would be first, like because he's a main card fighter, like without a doubt, like he shouldn't fight below. Like just his storyline alone is gonna keep the UFC. They're gonna keep pushing him. Like he's literally the youngest fighter on the roster and in UFC history, counting like his months and like the days and stuff. He was already on Contender Series at 17. But the last thing I'll say before we break down his fight, I think the reason he's starting the card off is because you know how Dana said they're gonna tell a movie of
Hmm.
Mexico and stuff
And
like
he's the
that.
youngest.
Yeah, bro. I think it's
Yeah.
gonna have something to do with that. I think it's gonna start out with like a young fighter, young Mexican fighter, and you're about to witness like his story. Like his story is a big part of the Mexican history, inside the UFC now. So, whatever he does, it's gonna be a massive, massive W for Mexico. And I think they really want to start off by telling the story with the youngest fighter in UFC history, and a Mexican holds that title. So that's why I think they're gonna do that. Like, what do you think? Maybe.
I agree. I like I'm not very informed with like the history of Mexican combat sports. I would say I do
Hmm.
find it interesting. Canelo's fighting the same night,
The
and
same night,
it'd be
right?
cool if like they locked in together and made it like at the end of the movie, it talks about Canelo, and you go right into his fight or something. But obviously, they're not going to work together with that. I would expect to see something about Canelo in there. But yeah, like I said, I don't know too much about the history of Mexican sports, so I'm going to learn tomorrow. I'm going to get a whole movie,
Right.
2 3 hour movie, probably in length of it. Um, but yeah, I agree. That can be the reason. Um, it's one of those two things, right? It's like they want to start with good fights, but he's also the youngest. I mean, he doesn't have school in the morning, so he doesn't have to worry about that anymore. He's
Right.
graduated from high school finally.
Of course. Yeah. Nah. Yeah. You're right, bro. But yeah, man. Again, crazy card. We can go ahead and kick it off with the first fight: Rahul Rosas Jr. versus Orage Key Long. Yeah, man. So Rahul's coming off that win after fighting in that UFC Louisville, Kentucky card. That's on my birthday. It was pretty cool to see him fight in person like that. Obviously we all know about his skill set. Good grappler. His hands are getting better. I do think he is getting better with the hands. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah. Like the win over Ricky Tercios. Really eventful fight, fun fight. I honestly enjoyed it. I thought Ricky came out really aggressive in the first round, and it was cool to see like Raul really take over like that with the grappling and really impose his will like that. And again, like I said, we all know his skill set. Good, like great grappler, especially for his age. I do think he is physically strong. Like surprisingly so for those that do fight him. I think they see that he's skinny and they see his frame, and they don't expect him to be as strong as he is. And that mental thing like catches them off guard with his strength and stuff. And yeah, man, Areki Long, he's a veteran, been here for a little bit. He's a striker predominantly. And outside of his 25-11 record, you could definitely say he has more experience than Raul. Which those who of you are picking him, you could definitely like take that route. We saw what happened in the Christian Rodriguez fight for Raul. Um, got you. Thank you so much, Steve. Want to give
Appreciate
it?
it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Want to give a big shout out to Steve Kaplan. Thank you for joining, and feel free to to join us for the show, man. Give any comments you have on the fights for sure. And yeah, man, I can honestly go and give my pick on this fight. I think we all know like what's supposed to happen in this fight. I'm gonna go Raul Rosas Jr. by a second round submission in this matchup. I just think like he's gonna come out really aggressive with the crowd behind him. He learned from his mistake in that Christian Rodriguez fight when he gassed out trying to get him to the ground like that. And I really think he'll be able to just really impose this game plan in this matchup. Yes, yeah, his brothers are really intelligent. You could tell like when they're in this corner and giving him directions and stuff. And I know like that one loss probably really changed his perspective. So um, he's definitely going way deeper into every fight that he has now, like research wise. And you can see in the press conferences, it definitely changed his perspective for sure. So I think the one loss really did him some good, especially this early in his career. He might lose again. He might have like a Charles Oliveira up and down kind of thing. But I do think he will crack that top five one day for sure. So I'm gonna go with Raul Russell Jr. by second round sub. How you feeling?
This one's like easy for me to start off the night. I do think Orikilang is a good striker, obviously, and I
Mm-hmm.
think he could stand in front of Raul and they could have 15 minutes of like good fighting. But I don't think he has good enough takedown defense where it's like Raul is just going to get him down, and that'll be the end of the fight, in my opinion. I think this will be like an impressive win for Raul. For Raul, who'll make it done quick. I have it first round submission. I think he's going to come right out the gate and get him down. I don't think he's going to stand there. Like the thing with Raul, and it's very similar with Diego Lopez. They're both like on these hot streaks, and they come out and they just run at their opponent. Not like run like Hamza, but they don't like waste time. They get right in there, and they get where they want to be. Like if they want to strike that fight, they're gonna get in there and they're gonna apply pressure. If they want to get you down, they're gonna go for that leg. If it's a single, a double, or I mean, Raul's young, he's quick. He could just jump on your back and go for the neck right there.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gets it done in the first with a submission. I think the betting odds, you can't really dispute it. He's not supposed to lose this fight.
At all.
So yeah.
Nah, hey man, we agree on the first fight. I'm pretty sure everyone wants to see him win, man. Everyone wants to see like the journey really take place and really see how far he can really go. But by the age of 24, 25, he'll be so conditioned to fighting grown men, it won't even be funny. And then like he'll be nowhere near his prime, even at that time. He'll only be in his mid 20s. So I am excited to see where he goes, and I think they're gonna slow roll him. Like he might not crack the rankings. I mean, they're gonna give him an opportunity. It's gonna kind of be like Patty Pimblett with Bobby Green. It's gonna be a big opportunity when it happens. By big opportunity, like a big deal. Even though he's fighting like the number 15, 14 guy, it's just gonna be crazy. He can actually like get ranked. So I do think like what he's 19 now. By 2021, they're gonna try to get him in the rankings. They're gonna be really careful with who they match him up with because they do not want to they don't want multiple like a lot of footage of him losing like that. They definitely don't want that with what he can be in the future for the country of Mexico. Um and yeah, thanks. Shout out to Steve. That's another thing. It's his star power, bro. He really has a lot of star power. It's gonna be cool, man. Like he can like break into that young audience for the UFC, like be at like the MTV Awards or something like that. Because he'll be young. He'll be 22, be a UFC fighter. Most people will know who he is and like all that. But you got any other closing remarks? Only because he's a special fighter. You know.
Um, no, I agree with you. Like, if you look, he's fighting the number 56. We could go through the bantamweight if we wanted to, but they're clearly not rushing him. I feel like we talked about it before, and I said like I think he's gonna have a similar route to Rob Whitaker. If he
Mm,
becomes champion, it's gonna happen young, and if he was to lose his belt, it'd be before he even hit those prime years of like 30. So yeah, I think that since he's starting so young and he's starting very good, he's 9-1. Um, it'll be interesting because he's gonna be 25, and you'd assume like just look at his record. If it's 9-1 now, and he's once he's 25, it might be 16-1, or 18
Mm-hmm.
and 2 or something like that. Depending
I,
how, I mean, that's 6 years. Um, well, he's about to be 20 actually, 19 years, 12 months. But still, yeah, he could have a really good record down the line. And like, yeah, once he finally cracks that bantamweight, um, bantamweight will probably look different by the time he cracks the top 15. You're not going to see Aldo, probably not like a Rob Font. Figgy probably won't be there anymore. I would say Sean might be moved up by then. Maybe that's like 4 to 3 years, maybe.
mhm.
So yeah, bantamweight might look different because right now, I don't think he stands in the bantamweight division, but in the future, it'll be more promising for him. That'll
I
be his. That'll be his bantamweight division. I'm not saying he's running it, but he'll be one of the big guys in bantamweight in a few years.
I agree, and like he'll just be super popular, bro. Because you would have seen him grow like over such a long time. But we can go ahead and get to the next one. For sure.
This one's
Uh,
fine. This is a really good fight.
yeah, this fight is pretty crazy. Um, you can start it off, bro. Go ahead, bro. You got it.
Yeah, for sure. So we got Edgar versus Joshua Van. I think Edgar, right? So he's a fill-in, right? Or no, Joshua's the fill-in for this one.
Yeah,
Um,
2 weeks notice, something like that.
yeah, and Joshua just got knocked out 2 months ago, and I'm watching all these YouTube videos. I'm talking to my boys trying to put together. Um, who sounds cute? Raul Rojas sounds cute.
Hmm.
But
Oh,
yeah, he got knocked out 2 months ago, and everyone's like fading him, like, oh, he got knocked out 2 months ago. He got beat up bad. But it's hard because he's honestly like very skilled. He's
mhm,
very good, and he's probably better at healthy than Edgar. I think he's even minus 240 right now, right? And people are still fading him a little bit. I mean, we're not seeing it too much here, but if you're looking at people's bets, you're not seeing Van on the tickets too much. Uh, I like Van in this. I think he's gonna win a decision. I know Edgar has good jujitsu, but I don't think he could stand in front of Van for 3 rounds. And Joshua has very good defensive grappling. Like, he's not gonna be able to like initiate the rolls, but I think he could stop them. He could stop the submissions. If he gets taken down, someone takes his back, they're on the neck. I think he knows what to do. He's gonna fight the wrists and all that. He'll get it back to the feet if it's himself or by the bell, and every fight starts on the feet. And he's very ruthless. I mean, he puts together great combos. Um, I'm taking Joshua by decision in this fight. I think he's gonna be a little careful after getting knocked out. He's gonna like pull back a little bit, but I do have him winning this one by decision.
mm. Yeah, man. Like, I can see why you would say that. Like I thought he was looking pretty good in the first round versus Charles Johnson. The first. I mean, I get that the second round Johnson was finding his timing. In the third round, he just, he got him with the uppercut. It was still a close fight. It wasn't like he was. I thought he was the better technical boxer when it came to Joshua Van. I mean, when it came to Charles Johnson. But like, it was just crazy to see him get knocked out like that. Like, um how long ago has it been since he got knocked out?
A month and 4 weeks, so
Uh,
basically 2 months.
a month and 4 weeks, man. It's
I mean,
like
dudes don't even like when dudes are fighting 2 months apart. That was like when Gilbert was on that 3 fight win streak and he was just taking fights. But taking a fight this short off a loss is scary. I don't think he should be the betting. I think he should be an underdog, and I should be picking him because he's an underdog and I like him. Him being a favorite's still scary.
I think that it's just, man, like for me, I think he's trying to scrub the loss out of his mind. Kind of like Jamal Hill, bro. Like Jamal Hill when he was coming back trying to fight Khalil Roundtree so early, bro. After getting knocked out the way he did, unfortunately, shout out to Jamal Hill. And like, yeah, I really think, gotta give a shout out to the boy Anakin. Thanks so much for joining us, bro. We're on the second fight, so yeah, it's so funny. We knew we would get to this. We could take a quick side note. Yeah, bro, it's pretty crazy. Really good co-main for the New York card. That's 309. Yeah, so it's in
Wow.
November. And that's crazy, bro. It's 5 rounds, so I'm really happy about that. I haven't watched the video yet, so I don't know if Dana said winner of the fight gets a title shot, and like I didn't haven't seen that
I
yet.
mean, Charles has number two, and Chandler's at six. They pushed down Gamrot down to I think eight, and yeah, so Chandler's at six. He could get pushed up to two. Um, that would be interesting, dude. That would be interesting. I think whoever wins that fight, if Oliveira wins, I think Connor's gonna be begging for him. But I say we just throw Connor to the side for now. I was trying to be very high on him that he's gonna return, but he's not showing signs. Like if all we're gonna see is videos of him drinking alcohol, we'll see we'll see you training. Anyone could train, but like
Hmm.
you have to prove it. Like he he has his whole career behind him that he already proved. But now it's the same shit with the pound for pound list. This is 2024 going into 2025. The only thing we care about is right now. No one's diminishing what you did in the past, but stop saying you want to fight, fight, fight until we see you. Like I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now I sound like a jackass to everyone I said that to. Like if I argued with someone on Twitter about it, I'm the jackass because Connor's not coming back. Apparently, Chandler had to move on. The most stubborn person had to move on. Um, we could get to that conversation too. We might get sidetracked, but I was talking to my friend. That's a great fight to make Justin versus Dustin, and then having Chandler versus Oliveira. I mean, those are the fights. These dudes are getting older in the lightweight division, and you might as well get the fights out while you can. They're money makers. That New York card is about to be stacked because I'm assuming
Crazy.
tomorrow we're gonna get a Jones versus Stipe announcement on the big screen. I mean, dude's pissed off Dana White talking down on John Jones. Now he's about to use some of that $1 billion budget and put John Jones on the biggest screen in the world. He's gonna put John Jones' face on the sphere. But yeah, I'm excited for that. I think Charles is the better fighter, but we'll see. You know, Charles makes a lot of mistakes in his fights, even to this day. Even after his title run, he's still making mistakes in
Hmm.
fights. So
Nah, you're right, man. Like 100%, man. Like that's why I love doing the show with you, man. Always making great points. And again, want to give a shout out to the boy Anakin. Always love talking to you, bro. Like you already know that, bro. And like, yo, I think I was walking home from work earlier. I stopped by this restaurant or whatever. I was thinking that Connor might fight Dustin again, bro. They might do a fourth fight, bro. I was honestly thinking like Connor might fight Dustin again. You feel me? Because like how they end in the trilogy, it ended on a leg break, bro. And Dustin's the higher ranked fighter. You feel me? So I think that's the fight they want to make, bro. They still have beef. Your wife's in my DMs, and shit, like all
do you
that kind of
think
stuff.
though? Because I don't know. I mean,
Because
is
Dustin
it a
only wants
retirement fight for both of them?
I think so. Like, and I mean, I don't know.
I'd
I
rather
can't
see
say
Dustin either fight Justin for the part three. I don't think he get Max. Max is in title contentions right now, like real ones. Um, and then I would like to see Colby. Colby still has not been booked for nothing, and that fight has history too. I mean, we've
with
seen three
Dustin.
fights of Connor versus Dustin. Like, sure, I would see it. I would love to see it, but I don't. I don't know if I'd be as interested. I'd rather see Dustin versus Colby or something like that. I think it's more interesting. You know what's going to happen in the Dustin versus Connor fight. Like, it's interesting. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be stand up. I would want to see something I don't know what's going to happen. What's going to happen versus Colby and Dustin? What's the beef going to be like? We already know like the stuff Connor's going to say with Dustin. I feel like that's in the past.
Hmm.
Dustin got the last two. Like I know it ended on a late leg break, but he got the last two. So
True. No, like and again, you're making great points, especially with this last, the literal thing you just said. Like, I just think with Dustin, like, is he still fighting him for stakes, or is he just fighting for money at this point, bro? Because
I think
money
he's fighting
wise,
for the dopamine, bro. He loves this shit. I think
you
that's he's fighting for the love of the war, bro.
but it's like, what else? I mean, like, can he get it? I mean, yeah, we're not gonna get this. Is the last thing I'll
I don't
say.
think he's gonna get a title shot out of this. I
At
think
welterweight, yeah, I'm like, I mean, like, what's the goal?
nah, and definitely not at lightweight. There's just too many. Like I think Dan Hooker is in a better place to get a lightweight title shot than him
Oh
now.
yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. He's a fresh challenger. I mean, don't get me wrong, he fought Islam already, but like they love
I
his style.
remember
They like,
stuff.
yeah, yeah, you're an asshole for that. Yeah, for sure. And it's crazy we saw that happen already. At UFC 267, he almost broke his arm. He almost did, dead ass. So, we'll see what happens. Just give one last thing on the lightweight announcement. We'll see we'll see what role it really plays. We'll see who really comes out of that, really trying to get something. I will say I feel bad for Michael Chandler, man. Like he waited that long. And what if he didn't know about Connor not fighting him anymore? What if Dana just dropped that bomb on him? Just like how he dropped in the airport.
Dana said that Chandler was tired of waiting, and I believe it. I mean, he probably was like, if nothing's
Let's
gonna
get
get booked this
paid.
year, give me this fight, and if Connor wants to fight next year, I'll take it no matter what. That's probably what he said. He probably thinks if he fights in November, no matter when Connor's ready, I'll fight him. That'll give me at least 2 months before the new year, and then the first card is until the end of January anyway, right? So he'll
Yeah.
probably fight in like February or March, and he's probably like, yeah, that's enough time for me. And fighting Charles, I mean, the worst thing that could happen is you get choked out. You'll be good in 4 months. You're not going to get brutally knocked out by Charles, I wouldn't say.
I don't know, man. Cause it's pretty funny. When they fought at 262, Charles knocked him out. And
But that's not what he's known for. That's just Chandler being stupid, bro. Like he
right.
needs to learn how to
Nah.
fucking fight. I hope he, learned how to like brace himself a little more in that time off. What if we just see like a new mythical Iron Mike?
With Michael, yeah, and I get it. We'll get back to this fight in a minute. But the literal last thing I was gonna say was that Chandler's 38 now. You feel me? Like, how much longer does he have? You can only be athletic for so long, especially when the sport you do involves taking damage, bro. Like, it's like Michael's 38, bro. And how much longer? I mean, he keeps himself in shape, but that weight cut gets harder, man.
You know what's
It be,
crazy?
hmm.
Chandler's last fight. You remember when you got me into UFC? That was around the same time.
Same time, 280.
All that time has passed. All those cards I've watched. I started at 279, but that was like I remember Chandler versus Dustin was
Dustin.
the first fight. I was like, holy shit, this sport is brutal. With the fish hooks and the blood, blowing the blood out of his nose. I was like, damn, and like I really enjoyed the sport after that. And I was saying like that was fight of the year to you. I was like, now I know why you're always saying in the group chat this fight's fight of the year. I'm like, this has to be it. And like all this time has passed and he's been waiting on that red panty night. Now he's not even gonna get it.
Get
He probably
it.
made good money off the sponsorships and everything that he's got, but and the commercials. But it's gotta suck, bro. He's gotta, and his family probably isn't struggling, but like still got a
Not,
family to feed. They were probably planning on like upgrading their living situation, and now they're not getting that paycheck, no pay-per-view points.
I just so Dana promises him something. Want to give a shout out to Hype 3 MMA. Really cool person. Always in the chat, always being nice and stuff. Always love talking to you, Hype, across the other channels we be on. But yeah, getting back to this card though, about the Van again, like we were saying, because he got knocked out like not too long ago, bro. I do feel Anakin. And I thought Anakin had a really good point here when he said that, he can't. Cody Durden did just pick up a win on short notice, and he did get knocked out by an uppercut. As funny as it is. Um, yeah, man. It just depends because I think Cyrus is a good grappler. I do think that Joshua has some pretty good takedown defense. And he has good technical boxing, man. It's just like, did they get again? It could be two things. Like, is he trying to scrub that loss out of his mind with a win? You gotta realize, man, when you lose, you get half a paycheck, all that stuff, bruh. You feel me? So I'm really wondering, if he's in the right mindset to really take this fight. But of course, you can't stay too long on this. Um, damn, bro. I'll go with who I think is the better fighter. You feel me? All circumstances aside. I'm gonna go with Joshua Van, bro. I'm gonna go with Joshua Van as well. I do think he's the better fighter. He has really good boxing. Really good defense. As I say that, he got knocked out, but again, that was in the third round, and he was looking good, bro. It's not like he went out there, got knocked out in the first round, like in the first minute and 30. It wasn't in a brawl, and he got KO'd. Like he was just like he got caught. He honestly just got caught, and I think he's coming back because he knows he's not chinny, and I think he's going to come out with a really good jab, really initiate the pace first. He is fighting a Mexican, so I hope it doesn't go to a decision. I'm not gonna lie. I do think he can take it, but yeah, man, like I was gonna go with Joshua Van, bro. Like I said, I hope it doesn't go to a decision, but I don't know if he's gonna knock out a Mexican, bro. Like especially on Mexican Independence Day, bro. So I'm gonna go with Joshua Van via decision. I think it'll be a clear win. I think we'll land the better shots, like the better combinations. And just hopefully the judges, hopefully they see it, you know. But yeah, we can move on from this. Good fight though in the flyweight division, as always. And yeah, here we got Yasmin Hawarki, versus Ketlin Souza. Yeah, so like Yasmin Hawarki, I actually liked her outfit at the press conference a lot. My friend who's Mexican was watching it with me, and he said like that's what like Mexican farmers wear on ranches, up in like northern Mexico. So I thought that was pretty cool to see her actually like represent where she's from like that. All the humble beginnings and things of that nature. We saw how she took her first loss when she got knocked out by Denise Gomes. She just got blasted in the first round. I think she learned from that in like her last performance. I thought she looked really good. The Ketlin Sosa girl, definitely gotta do more research on her. Let's see what she's made of. If you could pull up her topology for me, please. Um, yeah, it's
Looks
like
like Maribelina Silva a little bit, doesn't she?
yes, yeah, I think so. Yeah, a little bit, low key. You can say that in the eyes and stuff like
I was
that. Yeah.
wondering off this picture who she looks like, and that's exactly who she looks like. Just a little like more
Mm-hmm.
masculine, I guess. I don't know.
And she's coming in a plus 380 favorite. She's she had one lost one before coming on here, and in the loss she hit for a knee bar. And she's been in the UFC for a little bit now. The last two fights, she is 1-1. But she beat Marnik Man, who really isn't like the best competition like at all. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I never disrespect professional athletes. And she, in terms of the landscape of the UFC, she's not really competing that well. And and yeah, I mean, again, I can keep this one short and sweet too. Yasmin Haraki's coming in like a minus 500 favorite. Of course, the betting odds mean nothing at the end of the day. It's a fight. You get punched in the face, and you gotta see what happens. But I was gonna go with Yasmin Haraki. Man, I think she's gonna come in with a really good game plan. She was looking great, before the DC Gomes fight, and I think that tried to scare a lot of people. But I do think that she's still a great prospect, and she's young. She's super young, and she's just like that young undefeated prospect. And she took one loss, and it's okay. Like I think she's super young. She starts, again, she has a good skill set, decent striker, good grappler, um, for sure. And of course, I don't think she's chin knee. I just think Denise Gomes hits really fucking hard. And I was gonna go with Yasmin Howard. How you feeling?
So I didn't do too much research on this one. I was kind of like just focusing on the other fights a little more. I saw the line was very spread, and I think for a women's fight, it's gonna be a closer fight.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but now, so don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure Yasmin was training with Alexa for this one, right?
So yeah, I think she
She was
trains.
in the camp. So that's like a really huge factor. She got a championship training camp in this fight. I think that would do a lot for anybody. At those odds, take that into consideration. I would say they're both. Like I think that's like a deciding factor for me, honestly. I would take Yasmin. I mean, that camp is really good, dude. And it's not like she's training under a bunch of dudes. She's training under Alexa, who's fighting to defend her belt too. So she's training under another woman who's at the
Right.
top. I think that will rub off a lot. But we'll see. I like I said, I didn't do too much research on this one. This line is spread. People think she's gonna win by decision or a possible knockout. Um,
Mm.
yeah, so we'll see.
I think it'll be a decision. I think she's gonna play it safe rather. Let's see him come out there and like point strike here and there. Really just chase the takedown, try to get her to the ground, hold her down, do whatever it takes to get a win. The crowd gonna love whatever these Mexicans do. They do not care about no wrestling. They just want them to win.
Yeah.
Um, and that's all it comes down to. And yeah, I was gonna go with Yasmin Howard-Key in this matchup.
All right.
Really excited about her future. I really want to see how far she's gonna go. Like the Gomes loss was like it was crazy, but again, Denise's a good prospect too. And this is where the bangers start, in my opinion. This fight is absolutely bonkers, absolutely bananas, absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, I mean, Manuel Torres, this guy's a killer. I want to break this down nice and slow. Um, Torres is pretty dynamic in the cage. He's listed at 5'10". I mean, he's a big frame when you see his body, like in the octagon and actually grappling and exchanging. This really dangerous striker, man. Like, the way he knocked out Nicholas Mata with that elbow was absolutely ridiculous. And he's just a really, really devastating striker. Really love his mindset in the fights and stuff like that. As you can see, all those finishes, I'm pretty sure he has a 100% finishing rate.
Three
Um,
performance of the nights in a row too, which is
yeah,
pretty big. I did not know that.
like,
Typology got this huge update, by the way. I don't know if you're
mhm,
seeing this. It's like completely different now. They're showing like
yes,
subs. It looks really good. But you could keep
really.
going.
I agree. No, I agree with you. It's really nice. Like, shout out to Big Marcel and those at Topology. Y'all stay doing great work. Um, and yeah, man, like with this fight, again, like I said, Torres just really dynamic on the feet, really devastating how like march forward, really aggressive in every punch. And I'm not saying that as a fan or nothing like that. It's literally what he does when you watch him. So it's pretty exciting. I really wonder when he ever might win a decision because he's always like just being super aggressive in the fights, and he's on a really good win streak as of late. So I do think it's safe to say, damn near a whole new fighter. And yeah, man, like of course Ignacio Bahamondes, his opponent in this matchup, he's a great striker as well. Great spinning kicks, great elbows, great kickboxing combinations in general. That spinning kick on Roosevelt Roberts for Ignacio Bahamondes was like absolutely insane. Like they cut Roosevelt Roberts off that, and just seeing Roosevelt's just seeing him lay just like on the ground like that was just like crazy, bro. Like how he landed it. It was just a beautiful technique. Amazing technique in the striking. I think the John McDessie loss, I feel like that was him just like it was just a sophomore outing, I really feel like he just couldn't he wasn't used to backing up like that. Because John McDessie was keeping a lot of forward pressure, especially being the shorter fighter. I really think that was giving Bahamondes issues. And I think he's definitely learned from that. And we saw how he beat Trey Ogden. Of course, you could say that was like a glorified sparring session. Some people kept saying that on Twitter and stuff. But again, he's still a good defeat because he's still a good striker offensively and defensively. You can say. And I think he's getting better with every fight, growing every fight, and I think he has a lot of potential. Going to my pick in this fight again, man. This fight's it sucks, man. That both either of these guys have to lose. I think it is truly unfortunate because I really do like both of them and like their careers. And I'm really excited for how far they're gonna go, especially in the 155 division. Um, but me, bro, I was probably gonna go with Torres to knock him out. I think Torres can get the finish. I think. I think it might. I think it's gonna be a war, man. So I think it's gonna be a first round finish, man. I do, bro. Not like with Ignacio being trash. I think they're gonna go out there and like really push, especially with that crowd, man, and that energy, bro, and the sphere and all that. So I really think Torres is gonna go out there and get a first round KO, or TKO, first round TKO. And yeah, man, I got Manuel Torres to get the victory. That made me feel bad. I mean, he could get a
I,
decision.
I'm not trying
He
to make you feel bad. Just damn, I think he's gonna knock out Ignacio. I think Ignacio has a pretty good chin.
No, of course, it's just with the because the John McDessie fight again, he wasn't used to getting backed up like that, and just the simple 1-2 with the boxing by McDessie really had him bloodied up in that fight. So I think with someone who's even more aggressive, hits way harder, and I think like he's a smart guy too. I think he prepares for 3 rounds. It's just he's really good on the feet, man. And we saw him knock out Nicholas Mata, who Nicholas Mata knocked out Tom Nolan, and he took Tom Nolan's O. So I think he's beating good competition as well. You can say he's beating the better competition. I think so. So I'm gonna go Manuel Torres, bro. I'm gonna knock him out. 'Cause I don't want to change my pick. Like pick like
No,
round
bro.
wise. No, not round wise. I mean, I just think like it's gonna end in a finish. Like for real. Like
I also
um.
think it's gonna end in a finish too. I I
Yeah,
think I think Ignacio's gonna knock him out.
knock him out. Wow. Okay.
Listen. Torres has never fought anyone the size of Ignacio. He's 6'3". They both have the same like close reach, but he's 6'3" to 5'10". His
Five,
last two fights was against small dudes like Chris Duncan's not big. Mota's very small in my opinion. Ignacio's very tall. One thing he's slow. He fights kind of slow, but A, he has a good chin, and two, those kicks change the whole dynamic of the fight. How like where he can get his foot, it's going to be very, and like this, his length, it's going to be very hard for Manuel to close the distance, I think. And when he does close the distance, it's like, what is he going to do? Like I said, he's still a taller guy. I mean, it's going to be a lot easier for him to clinch because he's like kind of hovering over him at that height. Manuel's going to have to be punching upwards. It's not the easiest thing to do. Um, has he trained for it? He probably had some good sparring partners that were taller.
mm-hmm.
But I don't think so. I think Ignacio could catch him. I think he might be on the back foot, Ignacio, but with the kicks he possesses, I think he's going to be able to knock him out in this fight.
Woo!
I'm glad we're both on two sides of the spectrum on
Me
this one. We're both
too.
going to
Me
get knocked
too.
out.
Me too.
Hopefully, one of them gets a knockout, though. I don't want this one to go to a decision. I
It's
think
not.
there's too much skill in this fight to go to a decision.
Me too. I'm excited too. We're gonna see how it goes, bro. I'm glad we picked two different people because it makes it like that much better. We're gonna see it's like a
My
tug of
boy
war.
was telling me this was his main pick on the. When he asked me for what I liked, I gave him three names, and Ignacio was one of them. He said, "Fuck that! I'm putting Torres on my slip."
Taurus, right? Taurus, right? I mean, he said, "Fuck
He said
that."
fuck. He said fuck my pick. I gave him Irene Aldana. I don't think he took that. I gave him
He
Ignacio,
should.
and I gave him one other name, but he said fuck my picks.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
spoiled the pick, but whatever.
No, you're good. I was gonna say I should have. Like no, he should have. Same here. You feel me? But yeah, this is a banger of the night. Most definitely. We're 42 minutes in. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think
We
one of them could get another performance of the night in this one too.
Me too. Easy. Hell yeah. I think, man, because, bro,
I wouldn't
imagine
say
this.
fight of the night though, because like I said, I think this one ends in a knockout.
I mean, yeah, it could be a 1 round war, bro. We've had 1 round wars before. You feel me? It could be a 1 round war. Absolutely. Yeah.
What's their average fight time anyway? I mean, they're finishing fights round one knockout, round three, round two, and what's round one? Round one demon over here. So he likes to get in, get his paycheck, and go home.
We're gonna see how it goes, bro. I'm really excited, dog. Hell yeah. Moving on though, most stuff. Um, yeah, man. Shout out to the ladies in this fight, man. Gotta love both these ladies. You feel me? Yeah, you can have this one first. Go ahead, bro.
I bet. So I'm a big Irene Aldana fan. I remember my first time seeing her fight was the championship fight against Amanda Nunez, and she got dominated. But like the takeaway was like this is her first shot at the belt, and that was Amanda Nunez, right? And then she comes out of that fight and she fights Carol Rosa, and man, that was a war. Now, if I recall, that was the fight when she was getting leg kicked and she had those big ass welts on her leg, but she was just walking forward, 1-2 jab. I think it was like the first fight of the night or something on the card, and they put on an absolute banger. And I think after that, the crowd reaction is gonna motivate her going forward to like put on those types of performances. And out of like all the women I've seen fight, especially for like well, she's number two now, so let me not even say that. I was gonna say like a lower ranked fighter. She's number two, and I didn't even realize that. But she's like really good at striking. She doesn't do anything else. Like she sticks to her ones and her twos, no hooks or nothing, and she just lives by it. and that's annoying to fight. I mean, you're gonna get jabbed to a decision, but it's not boring watching her fight. Like she just walks forward. And Norma, she's good. She's very skilled. Uh, yeah, like I said, she doesn't step on the gas. I think if this fight was to get boring, it would be Norma's fault. Like she's a skilled fighter. She's not gonna step on the gas. Um, she would slow this fight down, in my opinion. Uh, to my what did I put? I got Aldana winning by a decision in this one.
Yeah, man, we're both gonna agree on this one as well. I think Irani's boxing is just too technical. Really good at keeping the distance. One of the best distance strikers inside the female UFC region, you could say. Definitely the best boxer in the bantamweight division. I really believe that. Just really great boxing, really technical striker. How she'll rip to the body and like really good with her jab, really good with her hooks. We saw how she used like the body shots against Yana Kunitskaya, and it was crazy to see her rip down there and like go back up to the head, and that I'm sorry, I messed up my word. That ultimately resulted in the knockout, and yeah, I mean, like I just really think with that Amanda Nunes fight, I think she really froze up, unfortunately, and it was just really unfortunate for her, man. I really feel like just seeing her in front of her really did a lot. She was in the main event, and like especially like in on a pay per view at that when she had never been on that kind of stage before, so to even like see her bounce back after that and then go through the adversity in the Caitlin Vieira fight. No, no, no. Carol Hosa fight. And then like yeah, all those leg kicks and stuff. Like it was really crazy to see her like march forward and like really stay focused like that. Um, and yeah, man. Like with me, who I'm gonna pick in this fight, I agree with you. I do have Aldana winning by decision. I think she's gonna keep her at range. I think Norma Dumont. She's a decent striker for sure, good grappler. Obviously, everyone likes her for her physique. I'll say, um, really nice physique. You feel me? Very, 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 very nice. And yeah, man, like it's gonna be a good fight. I did think she looked gorgeous at that press conference. I'm not gonna hold you. She looked really good. Especially because she has a sleeve now. I don't think you can see in that picture down there on her topology picture. That sleeve is new. 'Cause I've seen her fight for a
Yeah.
while, yeah, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" That sleeve is new for sure. So she's tatted now. You feel me? And I always find it interesting when people decide to get like like tattoos, like later in life. You feel me? Dan Hooker was 32 years
I was
old.
thinking the same thing. Got that whole back.
His whole back, his chest, his legs, like all that. Dane Hooker from like, I mean, he was 30 years old with no tattoo. He just got like, so I
Didn't
really
what's his name do his whole body too? Sean
say
Brady just did his whole body out of
Brady,
nowhere, right?
Aspinall as well, and Cody Garbrandt as
Yeah.
well. Cody did his whole
Charles
back.
got that whole back tattoo a few
Yes,
years
he did.
ago, right? Yeah.
Yes, he did. I think like it's probably really addicting, once you get a nice piece,
Once you
you
get
probably
one. Some people
yeah,
got better tattoos than the others. Like someone like Alex, I feel like Alex Pereira, he has like a really good physique, but his tattoos are very weird, right? He just has like championship belt, blah 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 blah. He just has a bunch of tattoos, and then some people get like a full sleeve that matches each other.
right.
Um, but like, you can't say Alex's tattoos look like shit because he might come knock you out.
Absolutely.
He's like the
I like
boogeyman.
literally. And I do like his dragons, like his dragons on his right, like how on like his going down and like his left, his red and black dragons are really cool. And yeah, I was gonna go without Donna in this fight. You can go ahead and move on. We're getting close to the pay per view now, so definitely really
On the paper,
excited.
yeah, that's it right there.
Oh, that's it. Bet.
Yeah,
So
and fight night is crazy. This shit is short.
it's not gonna feel like it though during the events. Like
Yeah, it's
what?
gonna be spread out a lot more, and it's not gonna be like boring compared to other things.
It's just gonna be electric like all the way through, like literally, bro. Like no exaggeration. Want to give a shout out to everyone joining us this evening. Really appreciate y'all. Want to get just a lot, love showing love before we get to the pay per view and close out the party. Um, and love having y'all, man. Like it's a blessing to do this. Just really trying to get our schedule down. Like we do have our schedule down. It's just we have to like work always pops up so much, and then like some other stuff happens where like whether it's bad connection, like equipment issues and stuff like
It
that.
honestly comes down to us honestly going live late at night like this, but like it's a Friday and we obviously have nothing to do tomorrow, so it's easy for us. But we'll want to go live during the week. I'm not getting home till 8. He's not getting home till 8, and then it's like we just had a long day. Sometimes we just want to take a nap. You wake up from a nap. May sometimes we just want to play 2K. You know, me and him, we've been playing 2K since 2K14. Sometimes we just want to play the game or something. We used to do the game nights. We haven't done that in a little minute. Maybe we could get back
Yeah,
to that. But yeah,
a little
the
bit, you
scheduling is
know.
just hard to match because And then I picked up doing MMA now, so it's like now I'm out even later, just tired, drained. Sometimes I just don't want to get to it. But I mean, we haven't missed a paper. We missed one pay per view, right? We missed the 305, first one ever.
305, yeah, only because like again, like my laptop,
That
I
was
had
yeah, that was completely fucked. We There was no way around that. We were
like
missing that podcast. We waited until I think Friday, and we were screwed. And I think it started early on Saturday, so we were just screwed.
no, I agree. Can continue to do what we do though. This of course we love doing this show, and we will continue to do it. And just want to thank y'all again for joining. But yeah, on the pay per view now, the best 5 fights of the evening. I always say this is what the pay per view is like. When I tell like my casual homies, like yo, make sure you watch it, this and that. I always say like yo, the movie starts at 10 o'clock. Like I just say like that, like because the prelims are like previews, your upcoming movies, like your upcoming fighters, you feel me? The previews for the movies coming out later in the year, stuff like that. But the pay-per-view, that's the movie. That's what you
Yeah.
came for. That's what you came for. Yeah. So with this, Rolando Rodriguez versus Ode Osborne. They had a very, very, very entertaining press conference. I will say that it was pretty crazy. I really did enjoy that. It was pretty lit. When they were going back and forth like that. As soon
Oh no, he'll be back. He'll be back. Don't worry about that. He was on his phone. He might have just simply closed that. Um, he was definitely talking about the press conference. Things were said by Ronaldo Rodriguez that I wouldn't look too deep in. He said some words that um, is used in Spanish and it doesn't have the same meaning as it does in English. So if you
I'm
heard what
sorry
he
about that,
said,
y'all. I'm
don't take
back.
offense to it. But right back to you.
Oh, no, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little muffled. Make sure the mic's going through your headset.
Oh no, you're good. There we go. Yeah, I'm
There.
sorry about that. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's cool. Yeah, I just got bumped out of nowhere. Yeah, back from the dead. You can finish the point, whatever you were saying.
I was just going off
If
what you
you
were saying about the press conference. I was saying he was saying some things that uh doesn't translate well to English the way they use that word. They use that word kind of freely. That's like how they use bitch kind of. So um
mm-hmm,
he had
puta.
his little Manel cop moment.
Yeah,
Uh
like I.
he's gonna
Oh,
get his fair criticized for that. I don't think Dana likes that at all.
for real, dang, that's crazy. I didn't know it was that real.
I don't think
Yeah,
Dana's gonna be happy about his first time on a mic being like that.
I think he loved it. I think Dana like because
Think
they. Oh yeah, I think they're gonna put Rodriguez. Depending how this fight goes, I think they're gonna put Rolando in a lot of big spots. He's a flyweight. They want a real Mexican. Of course, a Mexican flyweight. Sitting Brandon Moreno planting the flag. I think they really for the future. They put these guys in the oven and let them cook for later. He's 25. They'll wait till he's 28, 29, and really not to push him like that. I think he could win 2 fights, get a ranked opponent, maybe three because he is young. He might get the rankings by like 27, maybe something like that. But yeah, I do think he will win this fight. I was gonna go with Rodriguez, but like second round knockout. I think the first round is gonna be really explosive. They're both gonna be striking together. Um, I just think that he's going to come out with a lot of pressure after that first round and really try to seal the deal, really try to close him out, knock him out. And we've seen Ode Osborne knocked out before. I think twice, 3 times since at the UFC. So I know he missed a flying knee. That was with Tyson Nam I'm pretty sure. And then he got knocked out. And then like yeah, he got knocked out with a flying knee by Manel Cop. So then that was just sad to see, bro. But with Cop, he needed that win too, bro, because Cop was like 0-2 at the time. So Ode Osborne, I just think it's pretty crazy. These guys really be aware of that shit. It's like when Rodriguez said you're on this card because of me, you feel me? He wasn't lying. And yeah, bro, I'm gonna go with Ode Osborne. I mean, Ode Osborne. I'm gonna go with Rolando Rodriguez in this fight, bro. I think he's gonna get a second round finish, knockout.
This fight's interesting. I didn't have a pick set in, and then I saw the press conference, and I'm like, oh, that changes everything. Like a little bit of beef. That changes everything in the fight. I think Osborne's way more experienced. He has a very good skill set, but it seems like in the UFC he just can't get it done. He's having a lot of trouble. Clearly, he has a big reach advantage, but when I saw the beef, I was like instantly like, "Oh, I think Ade's gonna win or whatever." But I think after a little bit of research, Ronaldo's just a really good counter striker. And if they're gonna brawl, that like just like I think Ronaldo will catch him. Nice on the chin. And the thing with Osborne, I was watching the fight. I was watching was this fight, the Asu Almabayev fight. He just
Mm-hmm.
stood there and fainted in front of him the whole time. Like he looks like he could get to it and he doesn't. Um, there's just no reason to pick him for me. I'm gonna take Ronaldo Rodriguez in this fight to win. I'll take him by knockout. We lost him again. People think he's gonna win by submission. He has 5 submissions, never been submitted. 7 knockouts, never been submitted. Uh, Back from the dead, part two.
Yeah, my bad. Nah, yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, fix your mic again.
I got you. Hold on.
But yeah, this is his second fight in the UFC here too.
Mhm. All right, all right, all right. Cool. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right, bet. Yeah, it's all good. We won't be live that much long, and I'm gonna have my laptop next time. But yeah, again, thank y'all for bearing with me. Getting kicked like that. I'm using my iPhone, and I just appreciate y'all. Definitely still popping out, and again, thank you for joining us. But yeah, yo, Daniel Zell Hooper versus Esteban Ribovics. Yeah, bro, Zell Hooper. A lot of dudes call this dude like I've seen him be called like a Mexican Israel, like Israel Adesanya, the way he'll strike and stuff like that. Really long, really lanky for the lightweight division. Esteban Ribovics is a devastating striker. Obviously, we saw what happened in the Terrence McKinney fight. So I do think this fight's gonna be pretty exciting, especially on the main card spot. My friend from Mexico told me that Mexicans and Argentinians got like a legendary beef. I didn't know that. So it's cool that they put this matchup on here. Um, both guys are really good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Both guys are really, really good. I can't blame anyone that is picking Ribovics in this fight. For me, I just think Daniel Hooper has really good striking distance management, and I think he's going to use that to his advantage in this matchup. I think he's going to win via decision. Really, to really be patient. Just pick him apart with the jab and start to open up. And yeah, he's a really good counter striker too. So I was going to go with Zell Hooper. How you feeling?
This one's interesting. I watched Daniel Zellhuber's last fight with Prado. I remember seeing it live, but I rewatched it. And I was watching a lot of people's breakdowns, and no one said what I thought. I think this fight's gonna go exactly like the Prado and Zellhuber fight. Now, what I took away from that fight is that Zellhuber jabs a lot and he kicks to the body a lot. That he loves it. He just spams those kicks to the bodies, and I think it'll be exactly the same. What I hate about him is that every time a fighter closes the distance, he tries to doesn't use a teep, but he uses a body kick to like counter, which is really weird. I feel like you're opening yourself up a little bit too much with a body kick on a as someone's getting in your face. I don't like that. I think if he's gonna get knocked out and lose his fight, it would be because of that, because he tries to kick someone in the body when they're closing the distance. But I think this fight will just go like that one. I think he'll win a decision, just like this Prado fight. I think Esteban Ribovic is very similar to him. Smaller guy who's waiting to to rock you so he could take advantage and just go crazy. But I don't think it's going to happen. I think Zellhuber can go 15 minutes of just of those kicks and jabs. He takes a little bit to find his range, but he has the reach. I mean, it's 77 to 69. That's a massive difference. He's taller. He's used to this. He fights at extreme couture, so the takedown defense is there. I mean, they drill that all the time. None of those dudes are getting taken down. I think Zellhuber's a lock in this fight. And he's only 225 favorite, so anyone making a parlay should have him on it. I think this is his fight to win. And
I
they
agree.
call him Ryan Garcia of the UFC. He said he looks
Hmm.
like it. He definitely looks like it too.
I think he does. He 1000% looks like Ryan. He
He
looks
probably
like Ryan.
hates it, bro. He
He
said
looks like,
he said I fight dudes for $1,000. I'll kill that dude for any money you give me.
that dude like Ryan, he made like 20 million, 30 million for the Haney fight. It's pretty crazy, really
I think
shows the
Zellhuber in the cage against him.
like in a street fight, who are you picking?
I mean, I wouldn't call
Hard,
Zellhuber a
it's
wrestler,
hard.
right? So it's got
It's
to be
hard.
Garcia, right? Because like if it's in an octagon, it's one thing, but like in a street fight, it's gonna start on the feet and it's gonna be
I'm,
over quick. Street fights end quick. MMA fights don't always end quick. Um, Street fights are very different. I'd take Garcia in a street fight. I think he's gonna get the
I was gonna say,
and
I'm
it's
gonna go.
bare knuckle, bro. It's a big difference than getting hit with gloves.
Hell yeah, and I'm gonna go with the guy who has faster hands in a street fight. 1000%. 1000%. Um, I mean, there's so many people who watch this disagree with that, but I get it, bro. But it's
I think in an
it's
octagon, I would take him though. I would take
hell yeah,
Zellhuber.
most definitely. I agree. Going into the feature bout in this pay per view, again to keep these kind of not too short. I just don't want another technical difficulty. Yeah, bro. So Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. For me in this fight, bro, I just wonder why everyone thinks Brian's so chinny
I don't
all of
get
a
that. I
sudden.
don't get
Yeah,
that at all.
so chinny all
Because
of a
he got
sudden.
he got stumbled by Yair. Like,
Yeah,
okay, cool.
yes, and like how that end, he
Who's the
choked him
last bad fighter that Ortega fought? He's been fighting high comp for so long too.
very long time, right? Like for real, to be quite honest, and like it's really crazy, man. Like he has good boxing. He's improving the boxing way better. Like he was giving Yair problems on the feet, still walking him down, still landing good shots, and he probably hits pretty hard, surprisingly hard. He has a great chin, very durable, a lot of heart for Brian Ortega. He caught an injury at the first, so he was like in the introductions, and still managed to choke out Yair after a brutal first round on the feet. He feel terrible, terrible first round on the feet. He even curled up at one point after a body kick and like all of that. Survived a flurry. Yair gassed himself out trying to finish him. That's how much damage he took at that time. And yeah, man, like Diego, obviously he has amazing submissions off his back on top against the cage, wherever it is. Good power too. We saw him knock out Sadiq Yusuf. Really aggressive fighter, comes forward the moment the fight starts, which you don't see a lot. I mean, really tries to fly towards the opponent and try to take their head off. And yeah, he's obviously one of his most notable assets, or most characteristics, you could say, is that he is the training partner of Alexa Grasso. So he's training with the champion literally every day, and teaching her jujitsu. So it's always good that like he himself is teaching other people things, and like knowing he's that intelligent when it comes to jujitsu, but also he's teaching a champion as well. For me, it's like on the Brian Ortega side. Brian Ortega was grappling. He's been grappling with the Gracies since he was like 15 years old, and he's 33 now, still in his prime, in my opinion. You feel me? So, um, for Ortega, man, like I just think like he's fought the better guys. I think he's learned from the losses against the better guys. He's always looked better in his next fights. And he has a good chin. He has a great chin, bro. Brian has a lot of heart. He could take a shot, man. I don't know what like. I think like it pissed a lot of people off, which it shouldn't have. When he had to pull out that last fight, man, because it was already like a bunch of BS going on when he took the fight the first time. He wasn't even supposed to fight on that date. He tried to cut the weight, made the weight, but he just got sick, man. And like if he loses this fight, he's ranked number 3 in the division, man. He's not trying to lose that ranking like that. Not like they're gonna have to like you're gonna have to kill him to take it. You feel me? You can't just catch him on like a sick night and take his shiny number 3. That's not gonna happen. You feel me? So yeah, but with Ortega, um, yeah, I mean, going to my, I mean, is there anything you want to say before I say my pick?
Nah, do your pick and I'll get my breakdown.
I was gonna go with Ortega in this fight, bro. I think he can win it by decision. I think if it hits the ground, he can reverse him, get on top, get the control time. If they start to exchange, I think he can eat the shots, land his own shots, and hurt him as well. I think that's gonna be a back and forth fight. I do. It's gonna be a real back and forth fight. They're gonna be going at it. I think Ortega's, because man, he's fought Max Holloway on the feet, Volkanovski on the feet, and these guys couldn't knock him out or nothing like that. You feel me? Even Volkanovski, yeah, he hurt him, but Brian still almost finished him in that fight with the submissions. And that's just how dangerous he is. Always on the ground. You feel me? Also, Brian has a really good gas tank as well. So I do think Ortega can get the victory, bro. He still has a great chin. He has good boxing, and it's gonna be a battle of jujitsu in this fight. We're gonna see how it plays out. But I was gonna go with Ortega by decision.
I'm excited for this fight. I was excited for it last time. I'm excited for it now.
They got
Um,
four camps, bro.
One thing I'm interested in that Diego wants to coach Alexa after this. Now that is the next fight. So it's interesting. Is he fully prepared for a 15-minute fight if it goes that far? Will that frustrate him if it goes into the second or third round? If he wants to coach Alexa so bad,
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried that if the fight extends, he starts fighting frustrated, that he's trying to finish it. He already fights with urgency. Like, he does the same thing people hate about Drickus, and that's that they charge and he's throwing those overhand hooks, and it's a bad habit. He hasn't had anyone expose him. I don't think he should have beat Sadiq Youssef the way he did. He did, but I don't think he should have. I think that fight should have been more high level. It should have lasted longer. Um, I don't think Brian's someone you could do that against. Brian's done it all. I mean, he sat there and done jujitsu with people. He could sit on the edge of the cage and jab you, or he could stand in front of you. He's a really good fighter. He's honestly very well balanced. I mean, he's not like a knockout artist or anything, but he could definitely stand and strike. I mean, I wouldn't call Diego Lopez the striker that Yair is, so there's less of a threat. Um, and he's not that like Lopez is very good. Don't get me wrong. The Dan Ige fight made him look very human to me. I mean, if it wasn't 4 hour notice, I think Dan Ige could have won that fight. He looked really good in that. He exposed a lot about Diego. Diego also didn't look good in the third round. He looked very gassed. Um, I think Diego's gonna make a mistake in this fight. I think he could get submitted by Brian Ortega. I If someone's gonna be able to choke out Diego Lopez, it would be Ortega. Like he tries to do those overhand rights and he falls right into a guillotine or something. I mean, Brian could just jump it right in the air, just grab on the neck and legs around the back. Um, I'm gonna take Ortega in this one. I like him a lot. I think he's good. I think he's fought the higher level comp. He almost submitted Alex Volkanovski. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna take Ortega in this one. I mean, he choked out Yair, and Yair's not like a good counter submission artist, but I mean, he's off a submission. He's still got the juices in the tank, still got that killer mentality. I'm gonna take him in this one.
Finished the year, So
But I think he
hard,
finishes Diego in this one. I think
hard.
Diego's not gonna come with the mindset to win. Like he probably thinks he does, but if you're thinking about going and coaching after this one because you want to get it done quick, that sounds like you're underestimating your opponent a little bit.
Now I can see why you say that, man. It's gonna be a crazy fight. It's gonna surprise the people how crazy the fight really is when it starts to play out. It's gonna be like, damn, bro, we had that, bro. Now we got 2 title fights. It's gonna make you feel like a great card, bro. It's gonna really bring the card's already gonna be alive, but it's gonna be like it's like when they make the walks, I'm like, damn, I forgot about this fight, bro. It's me that kind of feeling. Bro. Like for real, like that's what I feel like. But going to the co-main event though, of course we broke. I don't think we were doing a show at the time of the last Noche UFC. So definitely gonna get this fight the respect it deserves. It's the first female trilogy in UFC history. I'm gonna actually let you go first. Go ahead.
All right, so this one's interesting over here on the MMAHOLICS podcast because we got my baby Alexa versus his baby Valentina. But yeah, we both love them a lot. But this one, it's interesting, right? So the
Yeah, man.
first fight, Shevchenko looked really good. Grasso was surprising, and she got that submission. The
Mm-hmm.
second fight, Shevchenko was doing very good. I don't know if I agree with the draw, but I do think Shevchenko gave away the fight in the fifth round. I think she made a mistake. If nothing changed, I would say Valentina probably wins this, right? She's really good. She's proved it. I don't think she's looked worse. A lot of people after Tough think that her training mindset is like through the roof. She works hard. I would say the same thing for Alexa. I think she tasted gold and
Mm-hmm.
you can't get enough of it.
Same
She's
for
been
yeah.
getting better and better over time. Um, she's gonna have a big crowd behind her. Um, I'm excited for this fight. I also love Alexa Grasso. I don't know if I stated that again. I'm taking Alexa in this one. Uh, Give me Alexa by submission, man. I don't care. I
Oh,
don't care.
Jesus
I don't care.
Christ.
We'll get an arm bar in this one.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Yeah, bro. I mean, cause it's just like, man, yeah, I think you broke the fights down good, bro. It was 2-2 going into the fifth round. She threw a spinning kick. She capitalized on a mistake, choked her out. The second fight, it was back and forth. Valentina went for a takedown in the fifth round. After piecing her up for 4 minutes in the fifth round, she went for a takedown. Alexa reversed it, being the great fighter she is. Got her back, sort of laying ground and pound, hammer fist, like so much so that it was 10-8 round,
Yeah.
apparently.
That's why I said I don't fully agree with it. It happened. It was a close fight. You can't let close fights be called robberies. It's a bad decision. Don't get me wrong,
I get it.
but the other rounds could have went a different way. You know what I mean? But yeah, keep going.
No, you're good, bro. I was listening to you. Just yeah, man. I still think Valentina, like, bro, she's 36. Like, yo, I just don't know where all this came from. Like, everyone like just wanted her to lose. All of a sudden, like, she was always a good champion. She was very active. She was strike. She does everything people want her to do. Like, she's marketable. You feel me? Want to give a shout out to Dan Blitz in the chat. Thank you for joining us during the co-main event for sure,
That's
bro.
my boy Dan. That's the one who didn't want my picks that I was telling you about earlier. He was fading my picks. That's
Yeah,
my boy Dan. Yo, we've been texting about this card literally all week. I can't lie. We've been going
mm,
back and forth with picks.
that's hard, bro. Shout out to Dan, bro. Nice to meet you, bro. Um, and yeah, man, it's like Shevchenko did everything, bro. Like, she was working on 8 title defenses, bro, when she lost last year, bro. So it's just like, has she missed a step like that? I don't think so. I still think she's a great fighter. Like, it's just people aren't used to not seeing her in the black and gold. They're not used to that, bro. So I mean, into this fight, I do think Grasso has gotten better, 1,000%. She's like, I don't want to say it closed the gap, but obviously the fights are too competitive to not make it seem like they're on the same level right now. And I just think she's hit a new championship level, a new mindset, like just really the way she's training. Also, it's the style for Valentina as well. She ain't never fought a person who has she fought Amanda who has good she has great power. This is definitely the best boxer she's ever faced in her entire career. Like how Alexa's defense with like the bobbing and weaving, her combinations, her 1-2, the 1-2-3, how she'll line it up. She's just a really, really, really great boxer. I cannot even lie. For Shevchenko, great Muay Thai, great elbows, great Superman punches, really well rounded, great judo throws to get you to the ground, to take you down. That's another thing. We saw her take down Alexa like 4 times in the fight, but Grasso was able to get back to her feet. So it shows that she can do that if she does get taken down. Man, for me in this fight, man, it's a close one, bro. I definitely just want to peel it back in layers because we'll probably never get this fight ever again. I mean, like, we got it 3 times, and I get it, but I'm not one of those dudes who are gonna act like it's not a great series. It's a great fight series. Both fights were really good. It's not like it was a Derek Lewis and Ngannou. Like that's lazy to want to like just scrub a fight out because you want to see a new fight that could possibly be boring. Like so I love this fight. I love this matchup. The rest of the division can wait for this fight. We can't when it comes to divisions and stuff like that because you got this going on with Aspinall and Jones. We can't push legendary fighters to the side for an up and comer, a ranked contender. You don't do that. Like not even in other sports do they do that. In other sports like basketball, football, like some players get farewell tours and stuff like that. Like every all the arenas like put their jersey number on and stuff like that. It's all fun and games till the fighter is gone and stuff. So nah, man, like I'm not saying they could get privileges, yeah. Like Israel getting another title shot against Dricus. But he's a legendary fighter, man. When he's gone, he's gonna be an absolute legend, man. And same with my baby, same with Valentina, you feel me? It was, I'm not saying she deserves a title shot if she loses this fight because she's gonna win, but it's just like yeah, man. Like I think people are really quick to disrespect her when she lost, man. Just so quick to act like she was trash, so quick to act like she was boring, like all that kind of stuff, when that was never the case. And if anyone ever thought that, you're fucking casual. And I'll say that straight up. You feel me? But yeah, excuse my language. Going into this fight. I'm gonna go with Shevchenko by decision. I think it's gonna be a matter of fact. I think it's gonna be in the finish, bro. I think it might end in the finish, bro. I'm gonna go with Valentina by a fourth round submission, bro. I think she's gonna be really aggressive, trying to get her to the ground, bro. Like how she did in the second fight. I think she can get her back at some point. Maybe get like she almost choked her out in the rematch. Like when she like took her down like that, she had her like in a headlock. And Grasso being again the great fighter she is, she wasn't tapped. You feel me? So yeah, man, it's gonna be a great fight. Again, I think both fighters have a massive fire under them. Valentina not coming into this like as some lazy, like it's not gonna be like that. It's not gonna be like that. She still has a massive fire under her. She's extremely competitive, and I think it's gonna be an absolute crazy fight again for the third time. It might go down as like the greatest female fight series of all time, or at least for the flyweights. For the flyweights, it already is. Because the guy's still gonna go on to be a legend in the future, even after this is done. So, and yeah, bro. So I'm gonna go with Shevchenko by a fourth round submission. In the co-main event of UFC 306.
But here we go.
See how it goes, man. Let's see how it goes, bro. And
Moment
going,
we've all been waiting for.
bro. We've all been waiting for, bro. Um, you can start it first, but y'all already know how we do the main events. One person breaks
I-
down the champion, the other breaks down the challenger. You can have Sean O'Malley, bro. Go ahead, y'all.
I'll take Sean then. We got Sugar Sean, one of the biggest hype trains in the UFC, if not the biggest right now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, got the belt after knocking out Marab's boy. Very interesting. Aljamain Sterling. Marab still thinks it was early stoppage. I think he was a little frustrated during the press conference, so he's still mad about that. Sean's had a great career, man. People try and
Yeah,
shit on him as much as you can. That
bro.
he calls himself undefeated, and I think it's a very fair thing to say. I mean, his loss against Cheeto Vera, it was a freak injury. I mean, you getting kicked in the nerve is not something that's going to happen very often. I mean, it's going to be hard to kick someone there intentionally. Cheeto was making it sound like that kick, when he threw that kick, it was going for the nerve. I don't think that's a fair thing, but you want to take the credit for it, sure. He obviously backed it up with his first title defense, 5 rounds of pure dominance. I don't know how he didn't finish Cheeto Vera in that fight.
Chin.
Um, but you just look at the other fights, like you got the Thomas Almeida and the Chris Mutino, both insane knockouts. Uh, Pedro Muniz, you got an eye poke here. You got Peter Yan. People aren't happy with that decision. Um, in Abu Dhabi, I don't have much to say about that fight, but he came out here, he waited for his title shot, he called for it. Aljo was on short notice. I do think it was a little bit of an early stoppage, but he caught him fair and square. with that hook with that was it a hook? Was it a straight? I don't remember. But Aljo
It's
jumped.
left counter.
Yeah, Aljo jumped and he caught him for sure. Um, this fight's gonna be interesting. A lot of people don't think Sean has the grappling to counter Marab. I don't think Marab has the stand up to counter Sean. Every fight
Sean.
starts on the feet. Now I don't think Sean's gonna be able to go. If this fight was to hypothetically go 25 minutes, Sean's not gonna be able to stand on his feet for 25 minutes. Marab will get his takedowns in. Can he hold him down? It's interesting. I was talking with my coach today. He's a black belt from Sarah, so obviously he has his allegiance to Sarah Longo. Um, he said he was taking Marab, and I asked him. I said, if that fight goes 25 minutes, he said the fight's not going to go 25 minutes. Marab's going to choke him out. I asked him. I said, be honest though, who has Marab choked out? And he sat on the phone. He said, that's a good question. And I don't think Marab has the capability to finish Sean. Smother him, yes, but will he? I mean, if he gets Sean down, he could end the round with points, but it's gonna have to go right back to the feet. Marab's been caught by Cejudo. He's been caught by Morales.
Yeah.
If like Sean's gonna hit him, and if you're gonna give Sean 25 minutes to punch you in the face, I personally think one of them is gonna knock you out, no matter how much stamina you take away from him. I just think it's the technique that he has. You've seen him go 25 minutes, and he looked really good. Besides maybe the last minute and a half against Cheeto. I'm gonna say the same thing. If it goes 5 rounds, you could give the last round to Marab. That's fine. Um, there you go. We're giving picks after you give your breakdown.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure we can, most def.
All right,
Yeah,
you got the
bro.
breakdown for Marab.
Hell yeah, gonna go to the challenger. The machine's on a 10 fight win streak, most definitely. He came in at 8-4. Now he is 7-4. 17-4. So I guess it's a 9 fight win streak. No, 10 fight unbeaten streak. It's cool to really see him really change his life like that, man. Really come like a super popular fighter. It's really rare you see a wrestler really go on to have a massive fan base like that. Khabib was able to do it because, of course, it's religion and like he represented an entire country. Same with Marab, he represents Georgia, and he's a really popular guy, as you could tell. Not at the press conference. I think that was a lot of O'Malley there. Wherever O'Malley pops out, it's gonna be hard to really be the A side against him, to be quite honest. And it's just like, yeah, man. So he's a great wrestler. He suffered 50 takedowns versus Piotr Jan. He has decent striking. When he got clipped by Marlon Moraes, he was able to weather the storm and started laying some ground and pound himself on Marlon. So that does show you he does have some power in the hands to finish him on the ground and pound like that. When he fought Jose Aldo, didn't do much really. Just held him against the cage. Didn't even do much with control time. And a lot of people don't, even with the 50 takedowns against Peter Yan, some people kind of didn't like that. Just so they couldn't really control him like that. But it's just the fact that he can push that pace like that for that long, 25 minutes. I don't know how Sean's gonna deal with like shooting at your legs over and over, having to stuff, sprawl. Like it's gonna feel like an exercise, like a workout, for real. But he's DC, has decent power, like I said. Really his bread and butter is his wrestling, his grappling. Really good forward motion with his footwork. To get the takedowns. We saw how he wrestled Henry Cejudo the way that he did, slammed him down in front of Mark Zuckerberg, all that good stuff. And also very physically strong. I do think he might be able to pick Sean up in this fight. If Piotr Jan can get a takedown like that, I do think that Marab can get a takedown. If Piotr can, definitely pick him up, put him over his shoulder, and like dump him. Like I think he can, like kind of like how Bilal Muhammad did
Yeah.
Leon recently. Yeah, like how he picked him up like that and just dumped him. I think he can get a takedown like that 100% off the pure strength. It's just that's the gift and the curse. You know how Sean's tall and skinny and lanky. Marab is going to be short, shredded, and compact and very strong. Um, and again, like I said, not really much else to say. He has a lot of momentum right now on his unbeaten streak. Very, really, really confident fighter. Has a lot of heart. He can weather a storm. How he did versus Marlon. Um, so we know that he does have that in him, but we also know that he can indeed be hurt if he land the right shot. And yeah, great wrestler. That's his main focal point, and it's how is Sean going to deal with the wrestling in this matchup. Of course, he can strike a little bit. He is a UFC fighter, but his main weapon is his grappling. So we're going to see how he uses that in this fight. They've been talking trash for a long time, or at least Marab for trying to get at Sean for a long time, and they're finally going to fight. Man, it's finally here. Both fighters have made weight. There are no injuries. I know Marab got a cut. And that's another factor. He
He
did
got
get cut.
stitches on his eye, man. I saw the picture today.
That's another factor. He did get cut in his training camp, unfortunately. No one would know about it if he didn't post it on social media. Only like the internet hardcore who's zoom in on everything. Because apparently he might have a little bit of a staph infection too going into this fight. But yeah, that's all about his skill set. Great wrestler, decent striker. We could really damn near say the best wrestler in the bantamweight division at this moment, with his pace and pressure and his physical strength. I mean, I don't know if he's better than Umar, but I know he uses his wrestling more than Nurmagomedov does. But we're gonna see how that goes if Sean can pass this test. Same for Umar. I mean, same for Marab because Dana said Umar's fighting the winner. But yeah, man, you did the first breakdown, so you can get the first pick.
I'm taking Sean in this one. I think he knocks him out. I think he's confident in himself, but he's still respectful of his opponent. He knows what's in front of him. I just think, them boys, Tim Welch and all them, they've been training for a long time for this kind of fighter. I mean, Aljo and Marab, they're the same thing. Marab's a little more strong, and then Aljo's a little more technique based, I would say. But it's the same thing, and they've been drilling it for a long time. They've been preparing for this. Um, he dealt with Aljo, and I think he knows he has to do this. I mean, a loss now, it puts him in a weird spot. What if they made him fight Umar? Like he has to prove himself. He doesn't get. I don't know. He maybe gets an instant rematch, but who knows? He needs to win this one though. Sean has to put this fight behind him, and he never has to deal with either of them again. He could start calling shots. If he wins this fight, he starts calling the shots. If he wants Ilya, he could have Ilya after this one, or Max, whoever wins. If he wants Max, that would be the greatest. That would be the most insane fight because that could be for a bantamweight. Um, I'm getting a phone call from my boss right now. You go get your pick real quick.
You're good. Take your time. That's crazy timing. Yeah, man. In case anything I didn't say, obviously we know Marab trains with Aljamain. I think Aljamain will be in his corner, giving him some pointers what he can do to get the victory against Sean. It's just for me. Man, I just think Sean's might be one of the greatest strikers in bantamweight history. He honestly is one of the greatest strikers in bantamweight history with his reach, his footwork, his power. Because Corey Sanhagen has footwork, but like Sean's footwork, it's like how it'll go with his power and how he sets up his shots. There's way more danger when you're fighting O'Malley versus Sanhagen, in my opinion. I think Corey has to land something spectacular to knock you out. Sean can just straight up knock you out with the hands. You feel me? So I do think he does hit harder than Sanhagen does, and and yeah, man, I think Sean might knock him out, man. I do, bro. I was gonna go with Sean O'Malley by a second round knockout. I think he's gonna just stuff the takedown. That's the biggest question: how he deals with the grappling. I think he's a good grappling. We saw him submit Takanori Gomi while doing that Pride Quintet thing, the UFC grappling stuff, where like the fighters will grapple. He looked good, man, in that, and like Tim Welsh is a really really smart coach. So I already know what's up, Cameron? Thanks so much for joining us, bro. That's the last fight. But yeah, bro. We both picked O'Malley. We're wrapping it up right now. I think O'Malley, like, it's a close fight. You feel me? I just think stylistically, he like Marab's fighting one of the greatest strikers in bantamweight history, bro. And I think like he knows how to use his range. And like all it takes is one shot. One shot, he can time the takedown, clip him, and like yeah, man, he could like, get hurt, and like it would just be like
Especially with the cut factor. I mean, if he opens that cut early, if it were to go to 5 rounds, the blood that's going to be going into his eye,
mhm.
it's going to be at odds against Marab if that cut opens. I mean, that's the worst place he could have got cut going into this one. And they're drilling, like they're practicing to the jabs right to that eye. I mean, why wouldn't they? They know
Right.
this. They're the most gritty people, bro. They told Aljo to go forward, and they're not even coaching him. Like these dudes don't give a fuck about you.
At all, And like that's the thing, bro. I really feel like he's gonna come out, gauge the distance really early. That's why I say second round knockout. The first round would just be to get the distance, see what Marab's gonna do. Marab's gonna shoot very early at that. I think Marab's gonna be really aggressive very early, trying to get the fight to the ground. So as long as they stay out there in range, he is in danger 100%. Now, if he comes out with a good leg kick and stuff like that, some good leg kicks, really get Sean off his rhythm, try to slow him down. Now it's about to be a pretty interesting fight. I'm not gonna lie. I just think Sean's gonna be prepared for that. He has a really, really smart coach. Um, gonna come in with a smart game plan. And yeah, man, he's a striker fighting a wrestler. They know what's gonna happen in this fight. They know he's gonna be aggressive, trying to get him down like that. He gets time of flying knee or whatever the case may be, a guillotine, whatever it may be. But I do think he is good on the ground and he'll be prepared for that. Also, I think it'll be hard to hold him down. That's a big guy, man. He can hit a butterfly guard, nice transitions off his back, like anything like that. So it's gonna be a good fight. I do think it'll bring home the sphere. It's gonna be so insane that's happening. Everyone's gonna get lost, and then like I think it's gonna be pretty insane. I'm not gonna lie. And yeah, man, I was gonna go with Instill in this fight. I do think that if Topuria does knock out Max Holloway, I do think they will give Sean the fight, bro. I think we'll see Topuria versus O'Malley, bro, and that's gonna be one of the biggest fights in
Or
UFC history.
Max.
Like for real, Max could win too, like for sure, bro. We get like Holloway could definitely win too. Like that fight, we break that down. That's
That's
gonna
gonna
be
be an
crazy.
electric night.
That's gonna be crazy, bro. And it's in Abu Dhabi, like, and like the fight before that, Robert Whitaker's fighting Hamzat Chimaev. You feel me? So, it's just really crazy to think about that. Like the fact that's really gonna play out like that. And I want to give all y'all a big shout out again for joining us for our 306 preview. As we ramble a little bit on the way out, TT says Ilya's gonna kill Max. That's
I
what
don't.
I
I don't agree. Kill
but
Max? Who's killed Max? They said Justin was gonna kill Max, and they were legit saying that. It's not like, oh, Ilya's better than Justin now. They were legit saying Justin is gonna destroy Max. There was like Justin with his leg kicks and Max broke his nose in the first round and changed everything. Why can't Max break Ilya's nose? Like, and that spinning back kick added to Max's game. I think people are counting out Max. I feel like people thought Max his career was kind of over after the Volk fights. They were like, um, with the Arnold Allen fight and then the Korean Zombie fight. They kind of just thought he was like his time was up. Maybe he wasn't getting the belt. He's right back. He's right back to it. He didn't lose a step, Max. He just fought probably the greatest featherweight ever. That's it.
agree. No, I can see why you say that. You feel me? It's just with me, like, okay, so we're talking about Max and Ilya, like. It's just man, because like we've seen Max like struggle with opponents that are shorter than him, and ones that are really, really good. And like this fight's really gonna show, like not show, but like prove if Ilya's like really, 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 really like that. You feel me? Like if he knocks him out, or not beats him by decision, if he knocks him out, and Cameron's on your side as it would seem, but if he knocks him out, like we actually like not TKO, like actually he's not gonna have him like face down ass up or nothing. Like that's never gonna happen. You feel me? But if he were to like, it's just for me. If he beats him by decision, then it's like, oh, it's still a good win. You have to give it to him. But it's like, because Ilya has to stop putting so much pressure on himself. I think he has these standards and these expectations for himself. And I think, like, man, it's hard to meet those, as you get higher and higher and you're fighting the best competition. Like, I think it's really hard to meet that. You feel me? Tyler's dying on that hill. You feel me? I mean, then that was different too. But like Tyler's saying he's knocking him out. You feel me? Like, there's a lot of people that are, Luke Thomas said the same thing. Luke Thomas, world renowned MMA journalist. He said the same thing. It's gonna be a rude awakening when Topuria Max when he knocks out Max. Like for me, How is Ilya also gonna deal with like that pace, that pressure, that boxing, that for like like he knows how to box. Max obviously he has good footwork, really dynamic, great spinning back kicks, great body kicks. It just depends on like what approach Max is gonna take. You feel me? Also, Ilya can wrestle. We can't forget that Ilya can wrestle 100%. Um, it's funny. He's just really going back and forth in the chat. Nah, bro. Like, I think it's gonna be a pretty entertaining card. Like I said, we do have Robert Whitaker versus Hamzat Chimaev on that card as well. So it's really crazy to see, like, and that's 5 rounds. So it's kind of like two title fights at the end of the day. And like I am really excited about that. For all of you that are here, please subscribe to the channel because we might go live after the pay-per-view on Sunday night, only because we know it's gonna be pretty crazy. And we might want to give our instant reaction. And as we preview UFC 307 as well in Salt Lake City. Want to give a shout out to the boy Rigo, always coming in, always showing love. Thank you so much, Rigo, for saying what's up to me, my boy Nikki. Love watching your channel, bro. Y'all go subscribe to Rigo. I think he said 20K plus subscribers now. So definitely go subscribe to the homie. Really nice guy. Always showing support and always love talking to you, bro. Always for sure. And shout out to JC, bro. Shout out to JC. Thank you for joining us, bro. We know we just ended the pod, not ended it, but we were still talking. But we do appreciate y'all for sure. Matter of fact, if you want to, right quick, we can scan over UFC 307 only because it's the next pay per view, and we did just
Actually, I just closed Tapology. Hold on.
on apology. Now you're good, bro. Take your time. And
Let's just
yeah,
hold on. Let's just leave it on. I'm pulling up on my phone real quick.
oh, now you're good, homie. Yeah, like I can see it too.
I know we
Like,
got the Alex Pereira fight. We got the Raquel Pennington fight.
mhm. Yo, what's up? Yo, what's up, Shojos? Yo, what's up, bro? I'm actually a journalist. Yeah, I think some of y'all might be coming from Pick'em MMA stream. I know he's watching LFA. Shout out to the boy Nick. Love you, boy. Always love watching your stuff, Pick'em. Most definitely. And I am a journalist. I cover the Atlanta Hawks for basketball. That's actually my paid job. I can put my articles on here. If you want to. I'd love to have you read them, of course. Get your feedback and stuff. And yeah, bro, I just love MMA too. Most definitely. The NBA season's not happening right now, so it's pretty dead. With the reporting and stuff like that. But of course, UFC, there's never an off season in the UFC. So I love MMA, and I've been watching MMA since I was like 12 years old. So I love UFC just as much as I love basketball. But yeah, I'm a journalist though, most definitely. Thank you, bro. Like yo, that's awesome, bro. Like yo, for sure, bro. Yo, you cover true crime. I'm a journalist, bro. So I'm always watching true crime on like my YouTube and stuff like that. For sure, bro. If you got a Twitter or an Instagram or anything, we can put it in the thing, and I'll follow you as soon as we get out of here, bro. And and yeah, man, giving closing thoughts on like the sphere, bro. um as we literally it's Saturday now, it's midnight. So I'm really excited, man, to see how it's gonna play out. No one really knows what's gonna happen. I just want to see how it's gonna look, man. If like the moment the fights start from the inside, like when they're in the cage, I'm curious if something's gonna be going on as like the fights are
Yeah.
like actually happening.
I was watching Volk's breakdown, and he was saying like it's like really important that if they're gonna have something showing, at least at eye level of the fighters, there has to be like pitch black. Because
Right.
when you watch UFC, you could see into the crowd because of the light that's put onto the center of the octagon. But there's
Octagon.
no light showing anywhere else. The only
Yeah.
light coming from people's phones, the broadcast booth, and all of their monitors. That's where the light's coming from. But all the other lights are off because it's a distraction to the fighters. So if anything's happening, it has to be happening up. They have to have like a curtain. I think a curtain, like completely a curtain comes down when just over the bottom half of the screen, because it's gonna be too much of a distraction. That was the first thing I'm saying. If you're gonna put like the fighters up there, I remember we were having this conversation as soon as they talked about the sphere.
Mm,
Imagine seeing like yourself in live time if you're fighting with your face to the screen. That's got to be distracting. It's got to be weird. It's got to be like mentally draining, you know? So there has to be something they got in the background that's not distraction. Like when you think of the sphere, also they do a lot of trippy stuff up there. You know, like it's crazy,
Yeah, man.
it's huge. So you can't do that. It's a complete distraction to the fighters. It could mess with their eyes.
Right.
Yeah, bro, right? Like crazy lights, like just starts flickering. UFC 306. Like, no, you can't do that. It's literally against the rules. Maybe between the rounds, but even then, I think that wouldn't be smart.
Oh, I know. As a fighter, like that shit's gonna be so crazy. As you're eye to eye, and you start.
Real quick, Dan wants to get a two-leg parlay. What do you like? We both
Bro.
took Ortega. I saw you earlier. I was gonna respond to that, but he was giving his breakdown. We're both
Mhm.
taking Ortega, but I wouldn't say it's a lock. I think the locks of the night. I think Ronaldo Rodriguez is a good one.
Yes. Over Ode
I think that's
and
a good one.
a
I like
lot.
Irene Aldana a lot,
Raul.
Raul, but I don't think the odds are good on that to put.
Yeah, to get some money on it. Right, right,
If
right,
you're
right,
gonna
right.
put two people together, I mean, chat says Ortega right here. Put what you guys think. If you guys had to put two fighters as a lock, um, yeah, Rojas is good, but I would say Zellhuber, and Rodriguez got to be the two that feel the most confident, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
I
So
would
he says Zell Hoover
and
and Raj.
Rodriguez. I think those two. I mean, I like Ortega, but I wouldn't say he's a lock. You know, I would say
Mm,
Raul's a lock, but his odds suck. You wouldn't put him on a two man.
yeah, because you can't get any money out of it. I agree with you. Not even a piggyback. I think it's the most like for what they are competitive, like kind of even on the betting odds, and I think you can honestly get the most out of those. And like they're damn near surefire picks. Like don't get me wrong, Ribovics could go out there and Terrence McKinney's out,
Okay.
Uber, but like I just don't really know, and it's a crazy card, bro. Like I said, again, thank y'all for joining us for our breakdown. Please join us on tomorrow night as well. We really might do a post pay-per-view stream. We know there'd be a lot to talk about after that, so we definitely wouldn't mind doing that for sure. That's definitely a sweet spot on that late night MMA community type stuff. Um, but yeah, man, like any closing remarks for me? It's a crazy card. I'm gonna be so drunk. Lord forgive my language. Of course, I don't be drinking like that and stuff. But man, it's just for a night like this, and I'm like, yo, the personal life has been stressed, bro. So I'm really just trying to like just enjoy tomorrow. Well, today, enjoy today, and just relax, man. I don't want nothing going on during the card. No spoilers. No, nothing like that. You feel me?
Yeah, I just
So
got asked to work tomorrow night. The owner of the fucking store asked me. He said he'll give me $100 to work, and I said, tomorrow's UFC 3. He said 100 on top of my pay, and I was like, no. Tomorrow, like, you give me that 100 on Sunday, I would consider it, but tomorrow I gotta watch. Like, you don't get to watch the fights when you're at work. So fuck that, bro. It's a pay per view. I work 5 days a week. I'm tired. I come home
mhm,
late at night. I want to watch this card. So I said,
right.
fuck that. We will be watching UFC Noche tomorrow.
I'm
Today.
not.
Few hours.
Hell yeah, baby. No more sleeps. No, we'll still sleep after this,
One
but
sleep. One
uh,
sleep. One
yeah,
good
for
sleep.
sure. The last thing I will say, for real, I'm thinking about the motherfuckers like who've been watching since like UFC one and shit like that. Imagine how they
The
feel.
dude we played Destiny with, what was
UFC
it?
Pride,
MMA? UFC
Shannon,
Pride. We played
Shannon,
on Destiny with this dude who was like a old head. He had like kids and everything, like grown ass kids, and he was watching, like Anton introduced me to him. He's been watching for so long, dude. These two dudes were talking. Anton was just throwing names at him, and he was like, "Yep, I saw him live at UFC 2." Like that shit
it's
was
crazy.
crazy.
It's crazy, bro. He went to Pride when he was in the military. He served in the Navy. He went to Pride in Japan, like saw it. Like that's Pride's literally UFC history because it was absorbed by Zuffa and stuff. So and a lot of the fighters in UFC fought in Pride. So yeah, man, like we could go on for hours. They really want to appreciate y'all again for popping out. Really love talking to y'all. Even a little post pay per view session was really nice. I really enjoyed that when we get the obligation out the way, and we can just talk about whatever at that point. Always love talking to y'all. Want to give a big shout out to my boy Marlon, Shojo's, Rico, all you boys. I'm Yoli. Thank you so much for joining us, bro. We're gonna definitely get you in here next time. Um, yeah, bro. So hopefully y'all are subscribed now, and please turn on notifications so you can know when we do go live, so you can pop right in here. And shout out to my boy Pickham if he gave us a raid. Love you, bro. If you get to see this, like really grateful to have you as a friend. All of you as friends. Rigo, the boy Lisa. You feel me? Tyler, Cameron. Thank y'all so much for joining us, bro. I really appreciate you. Shout out to Dan. It was nice meeting you, bro. For real. Good luck. Good luck with your bets tomorrow night, bro. I know it's gonna be a pretty crazy card, up and down. So emotionally wise, anyway. So definitely enjoy that for real. And shout out to Jaden, man. Thank you for joining us, Steve Kaplan. He wished us well from the start of the pod. So thank you so much, bro. And again, thank y'all so much for joining us. And you got any closing remarks, Nikki, or is that it?
That's it, y'all. If you enjoy watching MMA and UFC, go train it. Best decision I ever made. I'm about 2 months in, and I want to keep going. If you even had the thought of wanting to compete, just go find a nice gym. Go find a Gracie gym by you. Go find an Essential gym by you. Give it a try. Spend a little money. You'll enjoy it, guys. We
Mhm.
got a 9.5 out of 10 rating for me tomorrow, and that's it for me.
Oh yeah, man. We giving ratings, bro. Like on paper, it's crazy, bro. I mean, it was getting shit on, and I get it. It's not like for a pay per view. It's not like because Dana can hype up. You know, Dana, Dana can hype up this shit so much. He was on First Take telling like Shannon and Stephen A. Smith, like, he's gonna show the world something we never seen before, and we're supposed to see that today. And it's crazy, and I like, yeah, thank you, Shogos. Thank you, Rigo. Thank you so much, bro. Yo, love you, dog, 100%, bro. Always, man, always positivity. Never no shit talk over here. We don't do no drama, no none of that. Just like talk about fights how we like y'all like to do. We know y'all like to do in a chill space, and that's what we do, yo. So, thank y'all again, and y'all have a nice night. Enjoy the fights on Saturday. And again, like if we're not too under the influence and nothing like that, we definitely intend on doing a little stream after the fights, bro. So thank you so much for joining us. Like for real, bro. And like that's another thing too. I will say that like a lot of people like for me, it's like if they're gonna do that, like, and I agree with Rico like 100%, bro. If they're gonna do that, they gotta offer a solution. You can't just like give a thing and like not give away. Hey, maybe the UFC could have done this and that. A lot of people start to crap on it, and like the standards be high and stuff. But not for tomorrow, bro. Let's just enjoy this, bro. This is a card we're never gonna see, like we're never gonna see ever again. It's gonna be back to regular arenas and stuff like that. So let's just really, 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 really enjoy this. And yeah, man. Like, you got anything else, or that's it?
That's it for me, man. I'm ready for bed.
All right. God bless you, boys and gals, and enjoy the fights tomorrow. And we'll see y'all most definitely.